A very good morning to all of you. Welcome back to my channel Smart Codings by Shoykot Banerjee. Today I'll be teaching you a very important topic of programming, that is function overloading, also known as method overloading in Java, and its programming examples will be shown to you with the help of a BlueJ editor. So after watching this video, if it is really beneficial for you students, do comment it your doubts if you want to get uh, your more clarifications. Okay, and subscribe it and click on the bell icon so that you can get more interesting videos like this, which will be beneficial for your subject to learn properly. So without wasting my time much, I am just let us start quickly. So function overloading basically means function having same name but different argument list. As you can see the definition over in the screen over here, having same name but different argument list is called function overloading or method overloading. These two keywords are highlighted mainly through a red ink. Okay, so functions should have same name but different argument list. Now why to achieve what is the use or purpose of function overloading? So suppose we are using a same function for different purposes. So to achieve that thing, to achieve the same function is used for multiple purpose. A same function for multiple purpose, in that scenario or in that case we need to use function overloading. So let us see the next point. One feature of OOPS object-oriented programming language is polymorphism, which can be achieved through function overloading. That means a function can be used for multiple purposes. This is the main keyword of this line. It means a function or a method is used for multiple purposes. Clear? We'll be seeing this with the example. Now, on invoking or calling a function or method, if it finds the best match of arguments with the function parameters, that is the type and number of parameters should match to ensure which of the overloaded function is to be called. We'll be seeing this when we call the function from a main method, the type and number of parameters should match to ensure which version of function to be called, which is declared inside a class. So these are the main highlights which is you should remember that the main definition of function overloading is the first point. Okay, so polymorphism is one of the feature of OOPS which can be achieved through function overloading in Java. Function overloading comes into existence to solve a purpose when a function is used for multiple purposes. Okay, so let us see. Suppose polymorphism, the word poly means many, morphism means forms. So to relate this example with a real world example, I have taken here the water. It has different forms: solid, liquid, and gas. Same thing for multiple purpose. Same this water, the object is same, but for different purposes it is used. So we'll be seeing this through an example over here. Before that, we'll come to few points which will be useful for you to understand. See, polymorphism is basically of two types: compile time polymorphism or static polymorphism, and second one is runtime polymorphism or dynamic polymorphism. Okay, now compile time polymorphism is achieved through method overloading, which I will be covering today, and one more is runtime polymorphism is achieved by method overriding. It is not in your syllabus, students. If you want a video for this also, do comment it in the YouTube comment sections. I'll be making a video for you to make you understand this topic, method overriding. Now a program has two parts: compilation phase, a two phase basically, and a run execution phase. So compilation comes first. First, when you write a code in an editor, first you compile it, right? Then you execute. So compilation comes first. First phase is compilation phase. In that phase, what happens is we check different errors and all. Everything is checked there in compilation phase. Then the program is finally executed. So in polymorphism, compile time polymorphism is also known as static polymorphism. Or one more name is there, it is known as early binding. Why early? Because compilation comes first, then execution phase comes. So runtime polymorphism is known as dynamic binding or runtime. So compilation is the first phase of programming first. So it is also known as early binding. In the book it is written the one more name, early binding. Why early binding? So this is the main reason. Now let us move on to the next one. Conditions for method overloading. Method overloading can be achieved only when the three conditions are fulfilled. First one is method or function should have same name. They must have same name. They should be method or function should be of same class. It is not like that method is of different classes. Two methods of different class. No. In a same class, methods should be declared. And different arguments. In this, we have three parts: number of arguments, sequence of arguments, and types of arguments. So we'll be covering this with an example over here now. So notice there, if these three conditions are fulfilled, method overloading will be achieved. Hence, polymorphism will be achieved. Now see here, very important example. Suppose there is a class called test. In this class, we have two methods of same name. So first condition is what? Method should have same name. They have the same name. Okay. Now, it is of same class only. Test class, we have same method. As per the previous slide, we can see the condition over here. Two conditions are fulfilled. But the third condition, different argument, is not satisfied here because this method have no arguments. This method also have no arguments. So both are of same type, number of arguments. There is no change here. There is no difference here because no parameter passed here, no parameter passed here. Okay, what this method is doing? Printing 1. This is printing 2. Now, from the main method, student, we are creating an object of test class, that is OB is the object of test class. Now, when we call this OB.show, the problem is we are getting confused here that which version of show to call because both are of same type because no argument is passed here. So, as we are confused, compiler will also get confused which version of show to call because the third condition is not fulfilled. So, in the above method show or in the previous slide, just now you saw show method here, having the same name, it is in the same class. Two conditions are fulfilled here, same name, same class, but also have same parameters. Means there is no parameter there, there is no parameter. In terms of parameter also, they are same, which will throw error, and this is called an ambiguity error. Ambiguity. This error is called ambiguity because in both the methods there are no parameters. So compiler will get confused at which version of show method to call, thus not achieving method overloading, or method overloading is not achieved because both are of same type. So we will see here, to solve this ambiguity shown in the previous code, in the previous slide, you have to declare method with different parameters or different arguments. For example, the third condition, number of arguments should vary. How? Let us see here. Class test void show, there are two parameters of integer type, int and int b. As you can see, what it is printing? It is printing 1. Now one more function I am writing over here is one parameter here. The first show method, two parameters. The second show method, one parameter is being passed here. What it is printing? It is printing 2. Okay. Now from the main method I have not written here, just to show you here, just from the main method we create object of test class. As you can see here, test ob equal to new test. Now we'll show ob dot, now we'll call ob dot show. Now if we are passing here two parameters here, it is matching with the first version of show. First version of show means this one, it is matching with this. So the program control will jump here in this method body and it will print over 1. So number of arguments are varying here. Here are two parameters, and in the next slide you can see here this show method has one parameter. So number of arguments should vary, then only it will work. Methods having same name, it is of same class. Which class? Test class. But number of arguments should also vary. Okay. So this version will call the first one, and this version of show will call second one, this one. So it will print what? 10, 20 and 30. Okay. So I hope it is clear. Let us go back to the editor first. Let us go back to the editor here. I will show you method overloading. As you can see, students, class method overload 1, show method and show method of same class having no parameters, no parameters. Now if I compile this, method show is already defined in the class method overload 1. Compiler is getting confused which version of show method to be called, because number of arguments are either no arguments, here also no arguments. In that respect, it is same. So it should vary. So to resolve this error, what we will do, we'll just show this one. Suppose number of arguments here is I'm passing 2 parameters, so it is matching with this. So before compilation only, at compilation phase only, we are able to understand and know that beforehand only that this version of parameters will be calling this one, this method, and this version will be matching with this one. So if I compile this, so it's no syntax error, and it will print here what? Let us show you the example. Hello world 1, first version of show is calling this one, and second show is printing this one, hello world 2. I hope it is clear now. Now let us go back to the slide once again. Now I hope it is clear. Now next point was first method call no argument, so it matches with the first method declaration. Second method call matches with the second method declaration. Just now I've shown you. Number of arguments should vary. Now second one is number of arguments should vary. Now next one is number B point under different under third point there was 3 subparts. First one is number of arguments. Now sequence of arguments. In sequence of arguments, public class test. In this show method, we have 2 arguments. One is of integer type, one is of string type. Int a comma string b. Okay. The sequence is first is integer. First is integer, then it is string. It is printing what? 1. One more method is there. First is string, as you can see over here. Sequence is changed. String and integer over here. Now it is printing suppose 2. Now from the main method, we'll call this in the next slide. As you can see here, ob.show. The first method was what? First was integer, then string, and the second show, it was string first, then integer. Sequence is changed. If sequence remains same, it will not work. Again error. So let us see this. So sequence argument should vary. Let us see this in the editor first. The third one. Suppose, see, first here is, look here in the first version of show method, string b and int a. Okay. Now here also I am keeping them same. Sequence is same here, which should vary. So it is giving ESC compile error. What error? Already defined in the class method. Now compile is getting confused again, because sequence is matching here with in both the methods. So it should vary. So in the first method, if it is string b first and integer, then in this one it should be int d first, or int c first and string d. Make it string d here. String d. Okay. Now see, first when I call this using an object of this class method overload 3, 10 comma awake, it is matching with first one sequence. This first version also is matching with this one, and second one is matching with first is int c. So let us write here. First one was string 1. So let us write here. It will give again error, because first let us write this one. It will not give error. It's okay. First let us show this one first. Just a minute. Let me write this in the proper sequence of calling here. First one is string 1, Anik 20, and second one is this first integer then string. Let us copy this, paste this. Let us write here suppose 30 and write here awake. Okay, students, now compile this. Sorry, here it is. I've written here in a string. As you can see here, now it is correct. Anik and 20. This is matching with the first version, and second one is matching with the second version. So function overloading is what? Overloading means to use it. So same function, show function in the same class used for different purpose. It is used for string and integer to print it, for string and integer operation, and in this also it is for integer and string operations. Sequence is varying. Okay, now if I compile this, you will get the output like this: hello world 1 and hello world 2. I hope it is clear, students, to this example. Please do comment it if you have any doubt after watching this video completely. Now let us move on to the slides over here. So this was the sequence of arguments. Now types of arguments. Public class test. In this show method, what it is printing? One, having one argument of integer type. Here type is important here. Type should vary here. Here integer. One more show method of string type here. We cannot write here int a. Here we cannot write int b. Both type will be same type then. If it is integer, then string. If it is string, then it is float. It is printing 2 here. Now from main method, we are creating object of test class ob, and we are printing first version of 10. First version of this call method call is matching with the first version of show, and second version of calling is matching with the second version of show method. Then types of argument should vary. So let us see this in editor. Show method having one argument of integer type. Show method again having one argument of string type. So first I will let you show you here. If I make it int b, it will give compile error because method show int is already defined in class method of all this one here. It is already being defined here. Again we are defining this type, so it should vary. So it should be a different type other than integer. Let us give string. So for different purpose, for integer, for string, we are using the same method again and again. That is what is method overloading. So this one is matching with first one, second one is matching with this one. So from this function header or method header, we can previously, without running the program beforehand, we can know what value or what parameter will pass over here. At the time of compilation, we are knowing that. So that's why it is known as early binding. This one is binding with this one. This binding we are knowing beforehand only. Okay, so 10 is matching with this, Anik is matching with this one. That means from this header we can say what kind of parameter will be passed when the method will be called. Let us compile this, no syntax error. Now let us execute this. Hello world 1 and hello world 2. I hope it is clear, students. Now let us move back to the slideshow. So method overloading, I hope you understood. So if this video is really helpful and beneficial for you students, kindly subscribe my channel, comment it if you have any doubts, like it, share it. Okay, and in the next video I will be covering recursive functions, pure function and impure function. Recursive, what is the use of recursive one? Then pure function, impure function. These two topics are left. I'll be covering this next. So we'll stop here today. Please do like and subscribe my channel Smart Codings. Thank you, students. Take care.